April again, 2017. Thanks for joining me, Gemini. Dadhichi here from astrology.com.au with your month in focus, and interesting stuff happening right now with the moon just having entered your sun sign of Gemini right now, giving you that emotional instability, that very much that signature trait of yours, which is what we call dual and mutable, changeable, indecisive, and spread across way too many areas. You need to bring that into close focus this month. But a big one that I'm talking about here as a theme this month is the retrogression of the planet Venus, and how being in your 11th house of friendships on the 3rd of the month, it actually moves back out of that, back into the workplace arena. So a couple of areas there, your social life, but also your professional life indeed, may need some pretty significant revisionary approaches this month. The planet will be there up until the 28th, when it then again moves back into the sign of Aries, or your 11th house of friendships. So it could be, what happens there is that some of you may know about the retrogression of Mercury. Well, with Venus, this of course has to do with love, relationships. It actually rules your 5th house of love affairs and children, which also currently has a retrograde Jupiter moving through it. So this is a double whammy in the area of children, creativity, love affairs, speculation, all those sorts of areas, and more importantly, where it has to do with your inner child. So the retrogression here shows some rethinking of all of these areas of your life, while the planet Venus does its little backward dance, as I call it. Venus moving into your 10th house of career is pretty good, in a sense that Pisces, which is your 10th house or profession house, is really the best position for Venus. So what may happen here is that you could have made a decision around your work. This could be based upon the advice some of your friends have given you. That is the retrogression beginning in the 11th house of friendships, where you have to go over and review what you've done. Now that review, fortunately to my way of thinking, will more than likely give you better results if you're adaptable enough, which you usually are, to seeing the benefits of changing course or making those adjustments that are required. Even still, you may not see the results of that not only until after Venus moves back on the 28th, but possibly a couple of weeks into May, and we'll talk about that when I see you next time. There is a full moon taking place on the 11th. This takes place in the sign of Libra. Again, we see the recurrent themes here moving through that place of love affairs. So the full moon for you is relating to your finances, as well as the fact that it's in the 5th house relating to relationships. So this is definitely, as I said earlier, a possible speculative planet, a speculative position, and being fooled could show that you're over emotional, over generous, especially with Jupiter there. The moon and Jupiter in those same zodiac positions could make you overly generous. You could be wearing your heart on your sleeve. You need to be careful of that, especially if you've got children who know how to twist you around their little finger. They may want some money, and they may want a little bit more and lots more, and you'll be more than willing to accommodate them. So take care and don't blow all your money too quickly in that area. Your ruling planet Mercury is an important one for us to look at as well, conjunction to Uranus. We see, well, I'm not giving this to you in a chronological order, but the last couple of days of the month, in fact that last week, you'll see Mercury moving into a very, very powerful conjunction with the planet Uranus. It too will be moving into retrogression, along with some other planets. Your career planet, sorry, not your career planet, Saturn, the natural career planet, but in your case, the planet of shared finances, moving retrograde. So Mercury moves retrograde, then makes that conjunction to Uranus, which can really, really destabilize you and cause a lot of uncertainty and shifts and changes. I would say that you've got to be careful throughout the whole of April in making any important decisions while these planets are retrograde, especially if other people's money are concerned, which is shown by that retrogression of Saturn, the 8th ruler, but also moving through your 7th house of marital relationships and business partnerships. So that retrogression of Mercury takes place on the 10th. So there you have it. Even after that retrogression of Venus, you're going to see that Mercury, which most of you know is not at all a good one to purchase new things, make any agreements, or move forward without first letting that planet go forward. And therefore, even on that front, educational pursuits, contracts, business dealings should also be held off on until adequate research and information is at hand. The new moon that takes place on the 26th is going to take place in your 12th house. So this is a really new beginning for you in terms of your spiritual attitudes. We have Mars there in your 12th house, which gives you that dynamic drive to really investigate the inner part of yourself and the psychological aspects of your nature. That will be a very, very good foundation to solve a lot of these other areas that are going to be impacted by the retrogression of all of these planets throughout April. Join me again next month, I hope. In the meantime, visit astrology.com.au for the more up-to-date textual version of this. And naturally, if you need any personal advice, we have myself and loads of other astrologers, our affiliates, who are more than willing to help you. Take care. See you again soon. Bye-bye.